I'm going to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. It's us brothers from Great Millstone, Atlanta, and we're going to go into the topic of Yahawashi and his angels versus Satan and his angels. You know, Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, through the physical counterpart Esau, he's at war. You know, this is a war that we're actually initiated in. And we're in the midst of the battle as we speak. You know, this isn't a thing where we suit up and put our boots on and things of that nature, and that's when the war starts. No, the war is starting right now. All right, and it been started. You know, it been started. The wars against the Jews, even going all the way back to 70 A.D. You know, really before 70 A.D. You know, Matthew the first chapter, when really Esau. Greece, but really for the most part the Roman Empire being that dragon. That's why we're going to go through Revelations 12, where it speaks about the dragon actually coming against Yahawashi's minister, so to speak. You know, and this devil has been trying to take out the seed of Israel, going all the way back to Haman the Agagite, man. You know, going all the way back to Cain, going all the way back to Esau. That spiritual war has always been continuing, good against evil. Tells you that in Sirach, how good is set against evil, righteousness against wickedness. And this devil, he has basically a vehement hatred towards our stock, towards our nobilities, towards our lineage. And he was going to do whatever it takes through his military, through his information to kill us off. It's starting off with them trying to crucify our character, which they already crucified Yahawashi, the image of Yahawashi in his land, set him up as a white man. That's a form of warfare. Painting a picture in your head that's not even true. And he's trying to paint the picture in the masses' minds that we are the chosen. That's why they actually came up with the image of calling themselves the true Jews. You know, amongst all kind of other things, stealing the land, distracting individuals with true secular history and biblical history. Renaming all the lands, starting off with Greece, naming these different countries, rearranging the whole the lineage of these different lands. Actually knew that they live in a land of Ham, and everybody knew that. Then they would understand, okay, these are the Hamites, and they'd be like, so who is the Shemites, and who is the Japhites? They would actually study, but the white man didn't do that. He changed all the land names. All right, this isn't Ham. This isn't the land of Japheth. We're just gonna name these different lands, Greece, so on and so forth, and just rearrange the lands and people. This isn't the Middle East, so to speak. This is Asia, which Asia actually came from Leo Scipio Africanus. So it's all kind of information that's been distorted, and the minds of the people have been fully scrambled, man. So through the spirit of Yahweh, the Lord raised up prophets in the latter days to wake up the individuals to the fullness of the truth, starting off with the apostles and elders on down. So we're going to go into the scriptures and go through it in the spirit.
This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 6. It says, "And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of the Most High, that they should feed her there 1,203 days.
Keep going.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels."
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet. The war in heaven, which that's when Yahawashi is gonna come with the mighty band of angels to come against this devil. Through the act of war. That's why you have Ronald Reagan, which we always went to, the space program. He said if there's any extraterrestrial individuals that come from a foreign area, basically foreign invaders. If foreign invaders come into the land or coming into the world, then let all nations band together to fight against that common enemy.
Yeah.
And you have Donald Trump, which he put money into his space program. All these different countries are putting money in their space programs because they do a lot of surveillance in outer space. They do, through the science, through telescopes, these $100,000 telescopes, what have you, just constantly putting surveillance out there because they know there's going to be a particular battle that they're going to have to fight. And they came out with plenty of movies to illustrate that it is going to be a epic battle, man.
That shows you how slow these people really are, because you know, Esau like to drop little jewels or whatever, and he drop it as like so-called common knowledge, but really it be high level wisdom. Like he always tell you that the truth is stranger than fiction, man.
Mm-hmm.
And Esau knows it, but the way that he dumbs these people down and he deteriorates and demoralizes a person's spirituality, especially a Jake, because that's the true intentions. Is by him showing you these many movies or whatever, and he put his own spin on it and get these people tripped out in the mind and make you think that, hey, the Lord ain't sitting up there on high or whatever, waiting to come back to wage spiritual war, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the so-called white man, through his deception, you'll see an image, or you'll watch a show on how the Lord is gonna come back. They always have him coming back on a goddamn Nimbus cloud. Mm-hmm. First off, it's a white man coming on a Nimbus cloud. Mm-hmm. You know, just coming off in some weird way, man.
Yeah.
But in the spirit of peace, in the spirit of wanting to unite everybody, like he just was stoned, trying to unite the masses of the world. The Lord's not gonna come back like that. It tells you in Revelation, the 19th chapter, how he's gonna come back on that white horse. Basically, he's gonna be galloping in the spirit of warfare, man. Because back in the ancient world, you would have, generals, military men. They would march with horses to the breadth of the land, and that would be in the spirit of initiating war. You got something?
Yeah, this is a quick precept backing up the brother's point on how the Lord is coming back for war, and that he's not coming back in that peaceful spirit that, these movies that they show, he coming back on a Nimbus cloud, or it's a big old rainbow colored hand reaching out from the heavens to pick up all people. That's just an imagination, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. It says, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword."
Mm-hmm.
So that's a clear cut to anybody's imagination that the Lord is coming back for peace, because this is written in the red letter, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is spoken by the Lord himself. He telling you, like, hey, man, hey, what? Because he was constantly letting the disciples know, like, hey, it's gonna come a point that I'm gonna have to die, man. And it's like, I want revenge for it. And he telling you that now.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, I'm coming back for revenge because I know what Jacob's finna do to me, and I know what Esau is gonna do to me.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is that the reason that the people is going off is because of Esau, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's all based off his wickedness, man. Because if Jake could have been able to turn back right after we came out of slavery, and we'd have all known, like, hey, y'all are the Israelites, y'all need to go back. This is why we whooped y'all last. It was prophesied or whatever. Everything would be back in order. But we were meant to go off, and this was all written.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a clear cut, man. The Lord is coming back to rage war, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it said, the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, that the vengeance belongeth to me.
Mm-hmm.
Say of Yahawashi, Yahawashi.
Yeah, and that's why this devil, which this installment in the spirit is going to go into the spirituality, but all these things is located in the text of the scriptures, and this devil, the scriptures speak about how he's wiser than Daniel, meaning he searches painstakingly for answers before they actually happen. He looks up prophecies. That's why they have a doomsday clock. That's why they have these different prognosticators and stargazers that observe the heavens, that actually are they get paid millions of dollars. They have such a large salary just to tell this devil what's going on in the heavens, what's finna take place in times to come. So that this devil could prep, because these devils is prepping on a military level, man. Going back to Obadiah, where it speaks about how he has his he's exalted as the stars in the heaven, and that's why this is going into Yahawashi and his angels versus Satan and his angels. Because this devil, he's looking to, duplicate the spirit of the Lord through his left hand omnipotence. He's trying to be all-seeing. That's why he has the emblem of the all-seeing eye. He has surveillance. He's watching us right now, man.
Yeah.
He has surveillance all over the goddamn place, from the aerial planes to the to underwater, to the local household. Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has some form of communication where this devil is spying. So this is spiritual warfare right now, man. And we're not gonna retract the message. we're not gonna muzzle ourselves and gag the truth. We're gonna push this thing out full fledged, whether this devil likes it or not. And that's how we know, pursuing the Revelation 12 and 12, that the devil is gonna come down with great wrath, and he's gonna turn this spiritual battle into physical.
Yeah.
He's gonna rely on the top blessing that was given him, which is that sword. You know. So read a little bit on that.
Verse 8. Oh, I'll reread verse 7. It says, "And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not."
Yeah, and it speaks about the celestial angels. That's Corinthians, if I'm not mistaken, the 15th chapter. How the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another one also. So the celestial angels are going to get busy in the times to come, as well as the terrestrials. We represent those terrestrial angels, and the word angel means messenger. What's the message that we're pushing? This information. But this devil, through his left-hand messengers, he's trying to distort information. You know, Satan does have his own personal angels, and their specific obligation, their role in life, is to deceive the masses, to push out as much, deception, push out as much lies and trickery and duplicity, so to speak, as possible, to blind as many people from the truth of the scriptures. And they put billions of dollars into these things, man. That's why the government will never tell you that you're an Israelite. That's why if you go through school, you'll never hear that you'll never hear the term Israel. You only really know about Israelites outside of the school. Because you never in school they say, okay, this is Israelite history. The Israelites, they'll tell you all this African history. You know, about the Egyptian pharaohs and things of that nature. And then they'll, even in the textbooks, they'll show you white pharaohs. They'll show you all these different white images and planting this picture in your mind. And even the Latin tribes, the Latin tribes, even their educational center over there and their religious center is housed and controlled by the so-called white man through their texts, through their language. They're not speaking their native language; they're speaking Spanish, which goes back to the Spaniards.
I can say too. That's why America is trying to get involved with everything, involved with all these other countries, so they can actually hide the truth, man. Want to have their hand in everything.
That's why you always get the old saying, history is written by the victor. You know, who's the greatest victor in the last half millennium? It's been Esau, man. He's through the gift of the sword, man, and he came into his fruition of the sword, and he been ruling it ever since, man. So it's clear cut who the Lord set up to be the man of perdition.
Yeah, that's why they say nothing they say is history is his story. So they'll take the story and they'll repaint the picture. And it happened in the scripture. It's plenty of examples of enemies, adversaries of the Lord raising themselves up and trying to falsify the narrative. You had when the Jews were trying to build a temple, you had individuals come up to the king and try to get the renewing of the temple postponed through lies and trickery, man. All right, you had Haman the Agagite through information, lies and deception. He tried to get the Jews killed.
I gotta go.
Plenty of examples of evil men raising up to take the truth from out the midst of the earth. You had Antiochus Epiphanes, which he pushed out Hellenization, taking you from your true culture and your true heritage of being an Israelite and making you serve false deities, false gods. And it was mandatory. It became like it was a fully dictatorship. It was a totalitarian control where you have no liberty. You have no say-so. You can't say yes or no. You better do it or you die.
Yep.
And this devil is going to come down with that same spirit, because this devil is worse than all the predecessor, these predecessors before. How the so-called white man has this whole thing set up. You could tell behind the scenes he got some crazy fucking Dr. Frankenstein shit underway any damn way.
Even the minor stuff that they put out to the masses, is mind blowing. Through their technology. So who knows what they actually got behind the scenes, man? Because they're not gonna show you everything that they have. They ain't gonna show you their hands, so to speak.
That's right. Simone.
Yeah, Simone.
Oh, well, you can hold that and you can go ahead with
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna bring this out just to back up your
Okay.
point of how Esau, whitewashing everything, putting it in his image, which that's a spiritual warfare on Jake's mind that Jake really can't get past.
Mm-hmm.
This is First Maccabees chapter 3 verse 48. It's and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Yeah, so the heathen, when they got into power, they laid open the book of the law and they started whitewashing. All right, they started basically putting the leaders and the judges, the priests, the nobility, and they painted them from so-called black to so-called white. Hey, that's why you had on the Malcolm X movie, Denzel Washington, when he was listening to the pastor. I forget where he was at the time in the movie, but he was like, why do you call us black and call yourself white? Which that's a form of info war. He was like, white represents purity, white represents innocence, cleanliness, unblemishedness, so to speak. And it was like, you call us black, and he was he was basically going into white Jesus. You know how they he was like, God is black, God is a so-called black man. Jesus is truly a so-called black man. But you call us these different negative terms to basically destroy our minds. And black goes into what? Negativity, darkness, ill manner. Anything that's black, death, sickness. That's why it was known as what? The Black Plague. The black death. So that's just how this devil gets down, and this is a piece of many things that this devil has done that's located in the scriptures of how this devil gets down, man. You continue. That's the main point.
Yeah, that was the main point on that.
This Revelation 12:8, it says, "And prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven."
So no matter what this devil does, he's not going to prevail. It tells you in Matthew the 24th chapter, if it was so that they would deceive the very elect, but they won't. Hey, and that scripture alone shows you this. It's a high level of deception out there.
Yeah.
For them to try to deceive the very elect, that means it's a lot of people that's being deceived. Isaiah the 60th chapter, which I'll get. Oh, I actually have that.
Oh, you got it?
It's a little bit more on that.
Yeah, kind of. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
And who was that deceived the whole world? Because even Rome in its time, Rome didn't have the full scale of deception. Deception was pushed out heavily, but not on the level of this white man. Today, through America, this so-called white man has touched all throughout North America, Canada, South America. You got all kind of statues. The religion of Roman Catholicism is heavily practiced, and Christianity is heavily practiced in South America.
Yep.
You got Virgin de Guadalupe, Santa Maria. You got all these idols that's swarming around South America, Argentina, Brazil, parts Chile, Central America, Belize, Mexico, Honduras. What'd you say?
You name it.
Yeah, you name it. Canada. Then you go over here to the Asian lands. You got McDonald's, which is the so-called white man's poison. And then you have the spirit of democracy that's being pushed in these different lands. That's why everybody's all jacked up in the mind, man. Everything the devil has produced here, he's that's why it says his tongue goeth about to all parts of the earth. Which the tongue is a sword, man. Tongues can destroy many. That's why the scripture says that there's no greater sword of destruction than the tongue. And this devil knows how to weaponize information. He knows how to destroy your mind through information on a whole, man. Without even actually physically breaking you down. That's why you had the Willie Lynch letter, and he upgraded the style of servitude. He upgraded the style of slavery, and he said we no longer don't even depend on the conventional style of slavery. Shackles and whips and whipping the slaves, and persecuting them, so to speak. For these different offenses that they may do, because that's gonna do what? It's gonna constantly make them want to run out of the plantation. It's gonna constantly make them fearful of you. Lest he said it's gonna, you know, he took the style of captive control to a whole nother level, man. You know, that's when it started to become what? Psychological. This is we are right now in this time in psychological warfare, the war of the spirit. You go ahead.
This is going into what the brother's saying on the psychological warfare aspect of Esau's information, because Esau hits you with a flood of information. He has every angle of in which the mind can actually probably muse upon. He has a book for it, man. He has something going on within society to keep Jake's mind always wrapped up in bullshit. This is a precept. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 12. And further, by these, my son, be admonished, of making many books, there is no end. So there's no end to this information out here. That's why you gotta have that spiritual filter and be spiritually sound to be able to have the proper filter or whatever. It's like sifting for nuggets, man. Like back in the you know, like in the early 1940s when they was like, you know, the 1840s, you know, the 49ers. Back then when gold was booming real heavy. That's what you gotta have. You gotta have that perfect sift, man. Yeah. And that can only happen through the spirit, because you can get caught up in every manner of anything in this society. But it's that spiritual sift, and that's what keeps you what keeps you on the proper path. It says to finish off, and much study is a weariness of the flesh, and that's how Esau gets you by flooding you with all this information you don't know what to do with. You can't do anything, so really you just holding a bunch of information like these House of Conscious niggas or these 5%ers and all this. You got all these mores. You got all this information, but you don't know what to do with it. It just wears you down to a point that you just give up or you just bug out. But through the spirit, like we're spiritually sound. The water Yahawashi, like it's simple, man. Like you gonna have to be spiritually sound, and the Lord gonna have to be it's gonna have to be ready for a spiritual war, man. It's a spiritual war, Salaki.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Because just like the brother said, this devil, man, you know, he has all kind of tricks and wiles out here. That's why the scriptures speak about the wiles of the devil. And he's not stopping. He's publishing more books of lies. He's putting all kind of wickedness in advertisements and all kind of sorcery out here through the media. Like even the term media goes into the Medes or Madai, which means the middle, or back in the day they would have what was known as mediums, which the mediums point in contact was to contact basically the spirits to man, so to speak. They were basically witches. They were high level witches, and this type of information that we get, most of it comes from what? The media. And the media pushes out. It's been brought out time and time again that they put out all kind of wicked vibrations, wicked energy, symbolism, and they push demons through messages, man. That's why every goddamn product you buy, it has some form of you know, a symbol on it. Because this devil is the mistress of witchcraft, and we chopping this witchcraft and this sorcery down through the spirit of Yahawashi. This is spiritual warfare, and the only way to fight spirits is with spirits.
Precept.
Okay, you got it.
This is a precept from the elder Aratazai. It's Psalms chapter 73 and verse 8. It says, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak they speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Yeah, you gotta read down over. That's a bad one right there. And shalom to all, you know, Akim on the comment board. This is Psalm 73 verse 8. It says, they are corrupt and they speak wickedly concerning oppression. Keep going. They speak loftily. They set that word loftily means highly or proudly. You know, this devil is proud, man. Whatever you tell him, you can tell him the truth and he won't stomach it. He will not accept the fact that we're the Israelites. Even with Esau getting the blessing or losing the blessing, rightfully so, what it said that he sought with tears. He still didn't want to accept the fact. He wanted to kill Jacob. That's why Jacob had to do what? Jacob had to get the hell on. And later on in
in age, he met up with Esau, and he was scared as hell that Esau was gonna kill him, man, because Esau is known to hold a grudge. Esau is known to backstab. The first backstabber that ever actually emerged in history was Cain.
Yeah.
He literally stabbed his brother in the back and lied about it. Lied in the spirit. That's why I said, am I my brother's keeper? That's what the whole saying, am I my brother's keeper, goes into the goddamn devil in his lies, man. And you're supposed to be your brother's keeper, but we're not a true, what they say, like an evil twin. You know, we're not true brothers. We have an evil twin that's looking to kill us off, man.
Yeah.
And step in our stead. Tells you that in Sirach, how the rich man, you know, he'll observe you and he'll get close to you until he can knock you down and step in your stead. That's the nature of this devil, man. Some more on that?
Yeah, it says, they set their mouth against the heavens and their tongue walketh through the earth.
They set the mouth against the heavens and their tongue walketh through the earth. And that's forms of war, man.
Yeah.
That's initiating warfare. That's rebellion, which the word rebel is basically to wage war. That's why the word bell goes into the word bellum, which means war. Because back then, you would actually sound the bell. Bells would be the sounds of war that would take place. And this devil has been ringing that bell. That's why you had I think this guy Kissinger. He said if you don't hear the drums of war, then you're deaf, man. It's beating loud and clear. It's showing itself every single day that this devil hates us. Trump, even with this whole shutdown, you know, the government poisoning you, putting all kind of chemicals in your water supply. Flint, Michigan, Katrina in New Orleans, the ghettos, the projects, the crack epidemic, AIDS, you name it. Time and time, even with these Latinos, the immigration pushing the Mexicans out of Mexico. Trump establishing his pipeline on Native American land. All right, the reservations, high taxation, forced fighting in the military, and then coming back from the military and basically being basically looked at as a piece of crap, man. Yeah. All these different foods to throw you in a hospital, and this isn't war. This is the time of peace. You can keep going.
That was it on that.
Okay, I got a precept. This is Isaiah 60:1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. Yeah, and you want to say something?
Yeah, and it's all because of Esau, man. That darkness that's covering the earth, man. You know, you got all like the brothers just going into. You know, the cause of it is our people and Edomites being bugged out here, man. You know, because of Esau's false science. You know, constructing the mind of the people, making them believe in like brother was saying, in the false idols. You know, in this in Jesus Christ. You know, and that's darkness, man. You know,
that's right.
What does darkness cause? It causes people to stumble, man.
Yeah, because how far can you really get in the dark? If you're trying to get from you can get from here to try to from here to your job without your headlights. Your ass you're gonna be fucked up, man. No street lights, no nothing on the street, and you trying to drive. No type of lights. How far are you gonna get before you crash?
Right.
Yeah.
That's gonna fly off the bridge somewhere. No signs, no 40 miles per hour, no any type of signals to show that you coming upon a sharp turn.
And that show you how wicked these people and really how in darkness that they are. That they want men of the Lord to really come like Yahawashi, just because we know his name and we have the truth. We have a form of light, so therefore we can navigate through these times, man. Lord willing, he continues, to allow this light to be within us, man. But these people are really stumbling out here, man. That's that gross darkness. People do not have a sense of what's coming next, man. Like Esau got you people in a trick bag, man.
That's right.
You guys are literally what is it? Socially engineered guinea pigs, man. Because he is literally playing a trick, like a very sadistic trick on you people's mind, man. And you people don't see it, and we can literally go out and tell people, but they cannot see it. That's how dark it is out here, man.
Yeah, he charmed the masses of the people. through these politicians, because these politicians are charmers, man.
Mm-hmm.
To be charming isn't always a good thing. Snake charmers, it's a trick. Like the snake charmer do all these shenanigans, playing with the flute. You know, he knows the different tunes and things of that nature to lower the snake's guard. Then he'll grab him by the neck. A lot of times, that's why majority of these animals is caged up, because these so-called white men knows ways of deceiving and catching you through bait. And you take a lion, you take a lion and you cage him, and then what happens? The lion may have infants, so to speak, might breed and have cubs, and then you take that cub and you desensitize the cub, give him the spirit of learned helplessness, and you throw his ass in the circus for money, man. That's why these circuses is full of big. Here it is. How much elephants weigh? However much they weigh, the big 2-ton elephants with what's that thing those ballerinas be wearing? Tutu. Here it is. Is a 2-ton elephant with a tutu on with one doing goddamn tricks when he's supposed to be fucking in his native land taking shit down, man. Hurting with his family in the free, and that's us, man. Same thing with the lion. You got a lion with these menacing teeth damn near is big as, middle finger, so to speak, if not longer. Head damn near as big as your fucking upper body. And he over here being disrespected and beat by a 5'3" homosexual white man, man.
He cowardly lion off the Wizard of Oz, man.
Yeah. Lion that doesn't have his courage. That's really us. That movie was spiritual, and that's why you have to tap back into your power. And when you tap into your power, understand the power that you actually have, and you fight with that power, man.
I got a quick precept.
Oh, you got it.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty tied to the pulling down of strongholds. And that mighty through the pulling down of strongholds is what? Us coming out and actually speaking against Esau's lies and wickedness, man. That's first and foremost. And we speaking in the manner of spirituality. That's why I said, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. That's the key part. First and foremost. So this is spiritual. If it's not carnal, what must it be? Spiritual, man. First and foremost.
Yahawashi, and then even the apostles and after him, they was rattling the system so much that they had to come down upon him. They had to kill James, John, Peter. They had to kill They killed all the disciples. That's why they were known as what? Martyrs. And it was all through what? Words. They came down upon them quicker than they came down upon men that was actually trying to start war. The Zealots. The Zealots. That war came later on in history, around about 70 AD. You had the Jewish-Roman wars. Later on, you had the full-fledged fight that took place, and the Jews was pushed out. But before that, they was killing the disciples. Starting off with Yahawashi, around 30 AD, man. 45 AD, 50 AD. So this devil knows the power of information. He knows the power of the truth. And going back to Revelation 12, they're trying to cast as many lies and push floodgates of lies on the media and keep this truth hidden. It's more than that.
Revelation.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna continue on this. Yeah, on Isaiah, verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. All right, and that's the times that we're living in, where the glory of the Lord, which the highest form of the glory of the Lord is this word, is shining upon us. And just like the brother said, now we have our spiritual navigations. Now we have our eyes back. Now we have our senses back. We can hear now properly. We can see properly. We got the taste. We got the senses of taste. It tells you that in Sirach, as the tongue tastes of, as the palate tastes of diverse, as the palate tastes of diverse tastes, so does basically understanding, basically detect evil. So you through your senses now you could catch it. Type in a palate on that. So through getting our senses back, now we could detect who our enemies are, man. Because our senses were lost through this devil. This devil took our eyes from us to the point where we can't see who the enemy is. Like Jake now. Jake is totally just dead, man. Ezekiel, was that Ezekiel 37 chapter? The dry bones. You know, Jake doesn't have the flesh because the pastors and the leaders have totally stripped the life out of him and made him impoverished through taxing and deception, and turn them into a full-fledged coon and really cage their mind, put them in a harder captivity. That's why Jake in churches is the lowest and most institutionalized niggas, man. They more institutionalized than niggas in the prison. You could talk to a guy in prison and get to him before you could get to a guy in a church.
You can.
Because a guy in a prison, he's somewhat breaking out to be free. He sees that it's a higher concentration. The bars is right in front of him. He knows. He sees the system for what it is. But a nigga in the church, he believes this is life. So this devil, he's we at war, and we have to continue to fight this war, and even ourselves, we have to constantly barricade our minds, man. Keep our minds fortified. Stay in the spirit of our comrades. Don't go MIA. Don't go AWOL. Know the mission. Finish the mission. Stay disciplined. Sharpen your sword. All those things are pivotal with warfare. Who the hell goes to sword with a blunt? Who the hell goes to war with a blunt sword, man? And without his armor? Matter of fact, get that Ephesians 6.
This Ephesians 6 and 10 says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wild devil." And how we going into Satan, angels versus the Lord's angels, and we understand that Yahawashi and Yahawashi is going to obtain victory. You know, we just gotta be willing to continue and fight through it, man. You know, we can't let these certain temptations or whatever have you falling out, man. You know, it says put on the whole armor, you know, so that you can be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. That means Satan's gonna come at you, man.
And that shows that you know your thoughts can be penetrated. Also, we aren't impervious, so to speak, or it's possible for this devil to find a chink in your armor and execute you out. You know, because this devil truly is an assassin, man. He knows how to destroy you through information, destroy you through your lust. That's why it tells you when Sirach, blessed is he whose conscience hasn't condemned him, because thoughts can breed jealousy. Wicked thoughts can breed like I said, breeding seeds of envy. You know, breeding hatred one or another, because the thoughts are deceptive, man. The heart is deceitful above all things. Who can know it? But we pushing against that. That's why we always have to fortify ourselves. Always stay upon the fruits of the spirit, because we're fighting on the outside and also fighting internally. This is external through pushing his word out, but it's also internal warfare, man. The war of the members that Paul was speaking on in Romans the 7th chapter. And only the strong can persevere. That's why we always have to build strength from one another. This is spiritual training, man. And you get weak, you get low, but you got to shake the dust off. You got to get back up. You got to fight harder. If you fail, get up and fight harder. Now that means you know how to take a hit. Being knocked down, that builds character. That builds endurance. So some more on that?
This is verse 12. "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world." Yeah,
and this is definitely like a wrestle. When you see these different wrestlers going back and forth, like true wrestlers, not goddamn WWE and SmackDown, Cartoon Network commercial bullshit. It's talking about true wrestlers. They get like MMA fighters when they get on takedowns. Ain't no telling how the tables is gonna turn on that floor, man. Man might be on top. Next thing you know, he got them in some goddamn position. A Kimura or something, getting yoked out or something, man. You know. That's why you always have to be on top of your game. And like I said, it's a fight. It's a war. It's a wrestle. Like when Jacob wrestled the angel, he was wrestling for a minute, man, before he actually obtained the victory. So us brothers that's looking to obtain the same victory, the name of Yasha Allah being fully placed on us as Jacob name got changed to Yasha'Allah, we have to wrestle the same way.
God.
Some more of that?
Yeah, God. It says, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness and places.
Rulers of this society are immersed in darkness, because it says the rulers of the darkness, not the rulers of the truth and the light, but the rulers of darkness. The leaders, the top of echelons of the world are Satanists. You have the Bohemian Grove where they do all these sacrifices. You actually have a sacrifice calendar, and you can look up the sacrificial months where all kind of enchantments and demons is being.
And they normally try to do it on high holy days.
Yeah, they have the Witches' Sabbath. They have all these. They have plaques, and they have shrines. Like you have the image of Baphomet. I think that's in Arkansas. I may be mistaken, but you have all kind of wickedness, and these statues push out vibrations upon you, man. That's why one of the laws and commandments was for us to destroy these statues. And we can't do it physically. You do that. What kind of what's that law that you would be like destruction of property?
Yeah.
You know. So how do we do it? How can we destroy these statues? Through the spirit, man. Through bringing out the information.
Yeah, pulling down the strongholds.
Pulling down strongholds. Because a stronghold is something that holds strong to your mind. A lot of these statues Jake looks up to.
Yeah.
You know, Jake will take pictures. You'll see Jake posing right in front of the statue.
Or they have getting chain emblems. You know,
your tattoos.
I get a tattoo.
It says, verse 14. Salaki, verse 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
Yeah, now Paul going step by step how you should, what type of way you should be arrayed in this fight. You know, he didn't miscalculate anything. He didn't neglect to tell the men in Ephesus what to wear, and as it is written, things written aforetime were written for our. So Paul is giving us instruction on how we should be in this war. Have the helmet of salvation, meaning have salvation on your mind. You know, have your feet shod with the preparation of what the gospel of peace. You know, all these the armors. You know, he's telling you to stay armed and basically stay on point, man. That's why even with the military, that's the first thing they break in their minds is being on point. You gotta have the mind frame before you go to war. They ain't just gonna throw a gun in the soldier's hand and the next day he shooting the enemy. Nah. That's how soldiers die. You get his mind right. You let him understand the stages of war, understand sacrifice, understand tactics.
Yeah, he go through stages of training, man, like to actually build these qualities within that soldier. Because Paul wrote that because he didn't write it just just to be writing it. He actually wrote it because you're gonna have to use it, man. He spoke of armor. If you use armor, it ain't just it's for fashion. Like you don't see people walking in their day-to-day with armor on. Now in that day coming day, it's gonna be certain people put on vests. Why? Because armor is gonna be necessary to be able to survive those times, man. That's why he spoke it. That's why brothers have to arm themselves spiritually, man. Because there's nothing of carnality, man. Esau is gonna come carnal. He's actually gonna go to war with our spiritual father, our spiritual brothers, man.
Beautiful.
In the flesh.
Yeah, in the flesh.
And you're gonna see what carnal looks like up against the spiritual, man. It's not, hey, man. This is the worst state to come in, man. In a carnal flesh, man. That's why we desire those spiritual bodies, man.
Yep.
That's what Esau. That's what Esau wants. He wants that back. He wants that blessing back. Because it entails spiritual powers. But Esau, he was too carnal, man. So we got it in possession, so therefore we shall keep it, man. That's what all us brothers need to be armed with, man. The spirit. That's our go-to move, man. That's the armor. That's the breastplate, man.
Yeah.
First and foremost, you have to arm yourself with that, man. This ain't a thing of carnality, man.
Yeah.
Like we too close. We way too close, man.
And even when you are armed, you still have to, you have to be evasive. Don't just take unnecessary shots. You see, warriors, as heavily as they arm, they still are extremely skillful.
Okay.
Like movies like Troy, you see Achilles. Achilles was a bad boy on that battlefield, man. He wasn't willing to take slashes. He didn't just take unnecessary slashes.
Man, he had battlefield subtlety and discretion, man.
Yep, discretion. Which he was lazy as hell in the movie. Which
Yeah,
he was like, I honor myself. I don't honor the king. You know, he was like a mercenary. You know, they hired him for war. You know, at that time. But he didn't give a hell about what was going on. He just did it for. Really, he fought for the glory. He wanted his name to be a staple on the earth. And you have a lot of warriors with that mentality. Which the truth is about the glory, but it's about salvation. It's about so much more, and that's where passion lies. Because you don't fight, you fight as strong as your passion leads, man. If you're not passionate, it's gonna show through your style of war. You'll see one man, you're like, yeah, that man, this man he's a lion on the goddamn field. He's passionate, and you'll see another individual like, this man wasn't thinking that he was really going to war. He thought shit was fake till he got on the front lines with the enemy. So it's like, where do you want to lie in the spirit of this battle, man? And we all want salvation. We all want glory. We all want honor. We all want to be joint heirs upon Yahawashi. So we have to war and we have to fight blood, sweat, and tears, man. Fight our heart outs in this thing.
God.
Smart.
Yeah. It says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
Yes, and your defense has to be intact, man. Like Mike Tyson, what he said, my defense is impeccable. Yeah, it was like nobody could stop me. Tyson talking all that shit, But in the spirit, you gotta have impeccable defense. And how do you? What's the word? Defense is offense. To defense. How do you defend yourself? By staying in the spirit of Yahawashi, putting these scriptures upon the table of your mind.
God.
So when evil thoughts and these fruits of Satan try to plant, you know how to uproot these weeds and thorns. Like, nah, man, that ain't the spirit of the Lord, man. I got nigga demons in me. Let me get these spirit. Let me fast, man. Let me pray this evil spirit out of me.
Yeah,
let me read.
Be out there like Adrian Bron.
Oh yeah.
You catching blows left and right, man.
And saying you won the fight.
Yeah.
It is, you been getting your ass whooped from beginning of the fight to end of the fight, and throw shit. And you believe that's
Jake though.
That's Jake, man. Because that's pride though. Pride goes before a fall. Because you don't see your ass getting whooped. Even that's humble to say, hey, I'm getting my ass whooped.
Yeah.
I'm losing in this fight.
It causes you to make adjustments. Because that's you being honest with yourself. And through the spirit, when you do that, the Lord will allow it. Because that's a hump. To get your ass whooped and for you to accept that. Because I boxed. I don't know, it's some rounds and some box fighters. It's like, damn, he's whooping my ass, man. Like, it's humble. You got to adjust, man.
Yeah,
and it's only through the spirit, man.
Come.
How about you guys?
Some more on that?
Yeah, kind. It says, and take the helmet of salvation of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High.
So you still have to have your sword, which is the word of the Most High to fight. Because as strong as you have to be to defend yourself, you have to be strong offensively too. The scriptures speak about the offense of this word. Offenses must come, But it says, blessed is he that's not offended in me. Because sometimes a brother right beside you might cut the living shit out of you, man. Or apostles on camera, you be like, man, I already know when I click this video, I'm gonna be slashed to goddamn pieces.
Yeah.
But when it cuts you up, what does it do? It builds you up.
Yeah.
So you gotta learn to take constructive criticism as well as issuing out constructive criticism to your brothers. So brothers can become what? Better, polished, iron sharpening iron. Proverbs 27:17, man.
That's right.
And if we keep that same keep the same battle tactics, keep the same spirit, and stand upon the videos of our coaches, our spiritual coaches in New York, the apostles and elders, and stay upon the spirit, we'll make it, man. Without chopped off. The scriptures does say that if your right hand offend thee, cut it off. Some brothers may come to the kingdom maimed, so to speak, but you made it to the finish line. The hell with it. Hey, like the dude on 300 who had his eye chopped, cut out. He still fought. Yeah. And when you watch the second edition, you see that he was still in the midst of the battle. He was still coaching those men. He was still gearing those men up for the things that were which to come, which was the war against the enemy.
Sorry.
So it's some more on that.
It was pretty. We pretty much got the point out of it. If you go, I can keep going though.
Oh, if that's the main point. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's really the main thing. You had anything, or you good?
Nah, that was good.
Yeah, so that's all we have for you, Akim. You know, hopefully, brothers were edified. We're gonna end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, Akim.
Shalom.